Welcome to the final week of the Alabama Weekly. During this week, we will be discussing the major events since the 1950s and Alabama's role with these. After World War II, the, po- the political climate of the U.S. and Alabama were changing. The two superpowers, the United States and the USSR or Soviet Russia, had an ideological conflict. That means that their core beliefs and government systems were in conflict with each other. The United States had a democratic form of government, and the Soviet Union had a communist form of government. This led to a Cold War where the United States and the Soviet Union were not necessarily fighting each other with weapons, but were at odds with each other. One of the first conflicts was the Korean conflict. And this started out of with different threats of using nuclear weapons and all. And when we talk about the Korean conflict, Korea was divided between the North and the South after World War II. It was freed from Japan, and the northern part was under a communist government, and the southern part was more toward a democratic government. And the United States supported the Southerners, and the USSR or the Soviet Union helped the North Koreans. And the Soviets began giving the Northern Koreans weapons, and the US did not care for this, and this led to a huge conflict where many troops went over to South Vietnam, where many troops went over to South Korea to help fight. The next conflict around this time or shortly thereafter was the Vietnam War, and this was technically never considered a war. It was also a conflict, but many people refer to it as the Vietnam War. And again, you have the North and the South that are fighting against each other. And the South Vietnamese did not wish to become communist, and the North were attacking them, so the U.S. sent in troops as well. And this lasted for over 8 years, and it was the longest conflict in the U.S. history at the time. One of the most important Alabamians that helped out, or one of the most important Alabamians at this in this conflict was Captain Jeremiah Denton Jr., and he was a prisoner of war, and an important person at this time was Captain Jeremiah Denton Jr. He became a prisoner of war, and he was released in 1973, and he supported the U.S. even after he was captured. The next crisis that the U.S. faced in the Cold War was the Persian Gulf. And in 1990, Iraq invaded Kuwait because of their oil reservoirs, and the U.S. implemented Operation Desert Ste- and the U.S. implemented Operation Desert Shield, where they joined forces with Syria, Egypt, and Great Britain and France and Saudi Arabia to stop the advancement of the Iraqi troops. This then transformed into Operation Desert Storm, where 33 Allied
A
countries
vast
declared
virus
war on
database has
Iraq.
been updated.
And many people said that the U.S. became involved because of weapons of mass destruction, or WMDs, where they felt that the U.S. had to intervene because they didn't want people to be harmed. You could say that we are currently in the war on terrorism, and the latest could be seen even recently in the month of June in London. However, in America, one of the worst terrorist attacks happened on September 11th, 2001, where planes crashed into the Twin Towers of New York City, and one that was going toward the Pentagon, and then the last one crashed in a field in Pennsylvania as the passengers overtook it before it could crash into the rest of the Pentagon. And this has definitely changed how Homeland Security allows people to fly and how TSA, the Transportation Security Agency, allows people in and out of the country, as well as the Department of Homeland Security. So things have definitely changed, and it'll be interesting to see what happens in the future.